Welcome back to Ronnie Reacts, boom, where we react to viral videos all across YouTube, and no video is safe. I'm AyoRonnie, and today we'll be checking out film theory. We didn't listen. Don't hug me, I'm scared. I was traumatized, but not only was I traumatized, I was lost. I think this video is going to help us to understand. Speaking of things that are for you, thank you so much for finding this channel. Now go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you turn on that bell so you know when I upload or it doesn't count. If you have any clips, go ahead and send them to me at Ronnie_AO on Twitter. With all that out of the way, let's watch.
You up, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, or DHMIS, is a YouTube series created by Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling, where puppets learn important life lessons about creativity,
mine is being creative,
love, and nutrition.
Greedy to eat all that, you'll end up with
If
your
you say
gums
so.
all grey.
Yeah, but something's wrong.
Yeah, this
Well
is the first
spotted there,
episode.
Duck. Something is very clearly wrong. At a glance, the show feels like your typical Sesame Street-inspired children's program about learning. In fact, the visuals are such a good imitation of a kid's show that YouTube marked one of my DHMIS theories as made for kids and tried to shove the thing onto the kids app. At which point I was forced to write an explanation to the machine gods that sometimes the visuals of something don't match the actual content. You see,
Correct.
by the end of every episode, things go horribly off the rails, and lessons about love suddenly turn into cult recruitment tools. Nutrition facts wind up with characters eating each other. The whole thing is a disturbing satire on the nature of kids programming. Luckily, my thoughtfully worded letter to YouTube got him to see reason, the flag was removed, and a generation of toddlers was spared from witnessing this.
Yes. Oh,
Kids app, sure. In 2016, after 6 episodes, the creators literally pulled the plug on the series, but by then, it had already cemented its place as an internet classic. Things were quiet until 2018 when DHMIS uploaded a trailer for a TV show based on the series. Finally, we were gonna get to see more from this twisted world. And then nothing. For years, nothing. At least until now. On June 19th, DHMIS uploaded their first new video in 3 years, a new trailer titled Fly, confirming that the show would finally see the light of day in September. But you know what? I don't want to wait that long. I want to get started now. We know from past theories that there's a lot more to DHMIS than meets the eye, with each episode being a commentary on everything from children's programming to international politics. And I expect nothing less for the full-length TV series. So despite the teaser clocking in at just 50 seconds, we've analyzed it frame by frame, and I think it's clear what we're in for. A scathing critique on the state of world politics. I expect this new season of DHMIS is going to ultimately boil down to one key message. There is a core problem that everyone's ignoring, despite it being right in front of our eyes. And by ignoring it, the world is literally headed towards disaster. We are caught in a cycle of mistakes. And TV, the media at large, is not helping the problem. Yep, got all that from 50 seconds. So come on, friends, there is so much learning to do. As a reminder, our 3 friends in DHMIS are Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Duck. Based on our past theories, though, we know that they're not just characters in a kid's program. Red Guy is the creator of the series. He was a normal guy with an office job who dreamed of creating his own kids show.
Correct.
I see a silly face, walking along and smiling at me.
The whole thing is a bust until Yellow Guy's dad, Roy,
let me know in the comments what your favorite episode of that series is. I think I might have to go with either number 1 or number 5, but I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments.
comes in to financially back the show, which seems like it should be a good thing until he starts filling it with more and more ads.
Oh, snap.
Was there an ad there? There was an ad there, wasn't there? Art imitating life. Oh, it just gets more and more meta. Anyway, our previous theories concluded that DHMIS was a commentary on how the need to earn money corrupts creativity and how corporate interest tends to distort the education in children's programming. Eventually, the Red Guy has his mind blown when he discovers that he can make the show himself, releasing it on the internet for much cheaper while still maintaining his artistic integrity. Red Guy pulls the plug on the TV show when he sees the harmful effect it's having on children, as symbolized by Yellow Guy.
Is that
Red
what
Guy
that was
reboots
about?
it on a shoestring budget, but with the freedom for his pure creative voice to be heard. Also, there's Duck. Never really had a good explanation for him, but yeah, he's an actor on the program too. And that's largely where we left off. Like I mentioned earlier, there was another trailer named Wakey Wakey released back in 2018, but that's since been removed by the creators, instead replaced by this new trailer, Fly. So what horrific life lessons are in store for us in the new series? Let's check it out. We open on some sort of structure in ruin, rocked by either an explosion or a natural natural disaster. It seems to be a house based on what we see scattered around the structure. A children's tricycle, mattress, bathtub, what looks to be pipes and heaters, television, all items that you'd typically see in a house. The moment the TV enters the frame, we actually start to hear the buzzing of flies. Given that fly is also the name of the video, something tells me that that detail is going to be important. Several shots of our main characters flash by in the static on the TV, including duck with a newspaper, red guy on the phone, yellow guy playing a banjo. We then fully enter the reality of the show with our three main characters sitting around their kitchen table exactly like they did in the original series. A fly buzzes around the refrigerator, approaches the table, and lands on yellow guy's eye before duck squashes it, saying,
Pesky bee.
We then zoom back out of the destroyed house with a Don't Hug Me I'm Scared title card and a release window of September 2022. Okay, so that initially doesn't seem to be a whole lot to work with, but when you break the trailer down while also looking into the past of the series and its creators, there's actually a ton here. First of all, it's clear that the new show is going to continue its critiques on television and advertising. The framing device of zooming through a ruined house before focusing on a TV at the center of it all is not particularly subtle, but I actually think the release date is our strongest evidence to this point. Dates are very important in DHMAS. As we've pointed out in past theories, June 19th, that date on the back wall of every episode of the show, on that day in 1955, stock markets across the world soared so high that they broke practically every record. It was also around this time that the UK television market opened for private companies to make their own TV channels.
Whoa.
Channels that are focused solely on profit. And for a series focused on how advertising corrupts media made for kids, yeah, that is gonna be a pivotal moment. The first of these for-profit channels was ITV, founded on September 22nd, 1955. And wouldn't you know it, but this new season of DHMAS is premiering in, wait for it, September 22. For a series that's so concerned about dates, it's not likely that that's a coincidence. It's also no mistake that the calendar in the show is once again stuck on June 19th, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Next, let's talk about the fly. Clearly, the symbolism of flies is important here. Fly's the title of the video. We hear buzzing flies the moment the television enters the frame. It lands on yellow guy's eye. It gets squished. It is the main thing from the trailer. Flies are also the only aspect of the teaser that exist in both the ruined building and in the world of the show in the television. So the issue or issues that the flies represent exist both in the real world and are infecting the programming itself. But what does it mean? Well, flies usually indicate a problem. They're usually depicted alongside things that are dead or rotten. Rotting fruit, dead bodies, that kind of thing. So DHMAS's commentary here might be indicating that modern TV, for profit with advertisement, is either a dying medium or is rotten in some way. We children of the internet have known that for a while now, and even the original 6 episodes of DHMAS seemed to know that back in 2016, so I feel like that's probably not what they're going for here. Instead, it feels like something is rotten here. Rotting your brain, rotting society. Unclear, but let's keep looking for clues. I bet we'll figure out something. Red Guy is actually featured the least in the trailer, appearing only in the cartoon world's establishing shot, a glitchy shot where he's holding a phone, and a brief reaction shot to the fly buzzing around the fridge. Admittedly, this is only really conjecture, but we can potentially make some assumptions based on Red Guy's previous role in the series as the lead creative of the in-universe show. If we still think of him as the representative of creators like Sloan and Pelling, we see that he's the first to notice the fly buzzing around the fridge. He is the first to notice the problem. When he tries to communicate his ideas or raise concerns, like say over a phone, the signal gets distorted, just like it does on the TV. Again, just conjecture here, but we may be able to identify him here as the creative voice that gets squashed or distorted when he tries to bring up issues through his art. After Red Guy notices the fly, it lands on Yellow Guy's eye. Now, throughout DHMAS, Yellow Guy has always represented the youth, younger people in the process of learning about the world. Those younger people are also always being told that they're wrong by the media.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down. Arrange them into your favorite color. Green.
I'm really curious to know who has known some or all of these facts before. Like, who's watching that has thought of some of these things? Do you just look at this like entertainment, or do you look and try to see a deeper message within it? Because if I'm not talking a lot in this video, it's like literally because I'm just absorbing all this crazy information. Like, sometimes I watch things and I'm like overly analytical. This was not one of those moments, and I'm just trying to take it all in.
It's not a creative color.
Or taken advantage of. Here, the fly lands directly on Yellow Guy's eye, and he reacts. Clearly, Yellow Guy sees the problem. He can't not see it. It is literally on his eyeball. It is symbolic of young people seeing that there's clearly a problem in society. The question is, what is he gonna do about it? For now, all we get is a huh, which is consistent with Yellow Guy's reactions in previous episodes. He's naive, uncertain, absorbing ideas along the way. I suspect it has to do with the brief shot of Yellow Guy with the banjo. It's important to note that up to this point, Yellow Guy has never been the one singing the actual songs in the show. He's always getting bombarded with everyone else's lessons. But in this case, he's the one holding the instrument. So maybe we're at a point where we get to hear what Yellow Guy finally has to say. He's stepping up and taking action. Maybe this new series is the story of him standing up and doing something for a change. He sees the fly and he has something to say about it. And then there's Duck. Like I mentioned before, Duck's role in the series has always been a bit unclear, but it seems like the creators recently have been interested in exploring the character more, considering that in both the deleted Wakey Wakey trailer as well as in Fly, Duck is the one taking center stage. Though the episode Wakey Wakey never aired, summaries of it appeared online after it premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. In it, Duck takes advantage of his history as a well-known television personality to step up and fill the power vacuum left by the mayor's disappearance. He's manipulated by a singing key into locking down the city, installing duck-build cameras everywhere to create a secure surveillance state, and he ultimately blames everything bad that happens on mysterious strangers who are coming to get us. He creates chaos by causing people to suspect their neighbors, and when anyone dissents, Duck drills into the heads of the locals in order to brainwash them into repeating everything he says. At the time, Wakey Wakey seemed to be the creators Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling drawing parallels to the politics of the United States. Duck, as a former TV star in political power, sharing many similarities with then-President Donald Trump, who was infamous for othering and seeding suspicion over various ethnic groups. But looking at Duck's role now, he seems to represent something much broader. One thing that's always slipped my notice is that Duck's always reading a right-wing newspaper. And that's not me making judgment calls here either. That is literally the name of the newspaper that we see in episode 1. Duck has it again in the computer episode and again here in Fly. So Duck seems to be a right-leaning figure, a conservative, but the creators have added more commentary than just that. Notice that the headline is Power Surge Leads to Blackout. At first, I thought that this was just a funny little detail. It's been well documented that during the commercial breaks of soap operas or other popular programs, power grids in the United Kingdom experience a surge of demand as thousands of people simultaneously put kettles on the stove to make their tea. Maybe this shot of Duck was just a small nod to that phenomenon, another way that TV is controlling people's lives and shaping the world. But then I noticed which section of the paper this was in. It's under the opinion section. That sort of news is not the sort of story that should be filed as an opinion. That is a legitimate news story. And so it appears to me that this is yet another critique from Sloan and Pelling about the news media, misreporting objective fact as opinion in an attempt to create a false balance between the sides of an issue. It's also a commentary on the person reading the paper, considering opinion is misspelled opinion. In short, the creators don't seem to think Duck or people like him are very smart, which leads to Fly.
What if they legitimately just misspelled opinion the wrong way? Would that like throw off the entire balance of the earth? Like, what if it was literally just a misspelling? That would be hilarious.
Short, the creators don't seem to think Duck or people like him are very smart, which leads to Fly, where Duck sees the fly, swats it down, and calls it by the wrong name, Pesky Bee. This directly calls us back to DHMAS episode 3, which was about love when a butterfly gets swatted.
Pesky Bee?
Let's look at both of them and see how they compare, since these moments are clearly meant to be parallel. In the first case, Yellow Guy sees the butterfly, gets excited by this beautiful, harmless creature in the outdoors, and Duck kills it without thinking. This drives Yellow Guy away for the rest of the episode to learn about love. In Fly, again, Yellow Guy sees something first, in this case it's the fly, an indicator of the problems in the broader world before Duck swats it down. In both cases, Duck sees something, he fails to recognize it for what it is, and then he kills it without asking questions. In the first, Duck kills something that's a beautiful part of nature. In the second, a fly should be telling Duck that there's a deeper problem here. Something is rotting nearby. But Duck calls him a bee. He's failing to recognize that anything is truly wrong. It's symbolic of leaders failing to recognize the bigger problems that we're facing, instead just swatting down the symptoms and pretending that that's enough. It's a pesky bee, not the rotting corpse that's hidden inside the refrigerator or whatever. It's not clear whether Duck is meant to be a specific right-wing figure here. The creators of the show are British, which would point to the right-wing, soon-to-be former British PM Boris Johnson. Regardless of who it is, it seems like the theme is consistent. Duck, and those like him, are ignoring the rot around them, pretending everything is fine or just tackling symptoms without getting to the root cause of the problem. The implication here is that ultimately something in DHMIS and the broader world is systematically wrong and our leadership is collectively ignoring it. I think the takeaway from the trailer, other than I'm just excited to see more, is that DHMIS is going to be picking up right where it left off when it comes to thinly veiled political commentary and extremely sharp social observation. In fact, I think they're going to go one step further and not just pick up where they left off, but pick up before they left off. The original 6-episode run of DHMIS
cool.
ended with the calendar in the background changing days from June 19th to June 20th.
True.
We've moved forward in time. We've progressed. Red Guy pulled the plug on his ad-heavy children's show and decided to independently produce it on YouTube. There was hope. There was new opportunity. But now we've regressed. The calendar in Fly has reset to June 19th. Resetting the date seems to be meant to tell us that history is repeating. We're making the same mistakes. We are stuck in a negative cycle, like Duck ignoring the problems, or Yellow Guy who doesn't know enough to recognize history when he sees it. We're going to be reliving the same issues over and over again. We keep swatting the fly, but calling it a bee. We keep treating the symptoms, but not addressing the root problem. Maybe we as viewers didn't do a good enough job of recognizing the problems around us. And so DHMIS's new season will be us reliving them again until we can get it right. Looks like the show is trying to teach us something after all, and not just about nutrition.
But the bad, not healthy foods are very rude and must leave through the cat flap.
That doesn't make sense.
Also guess we're gonna have to wait until September to find out more. Suppose it gives me time to figure out how to watch shows that are currently airing on the BBC. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cuts. And
Okay, big brain video. Sorry I didn't talk a lot. This dude cuts. The way he cuts is very hard to get a word in edgewise, and plus, there's always so much knowledge coming at you at one time. It's just sometimes it's hard to get a word in. But let me know if you learned anything. Let me know your theories in the comments. I'll be in the comments responding, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, you already know what to do. Go ahead, strike pose on that like button. Subscribe to AyoRonnie Is Now An. Love you guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye.